can burn me, no battle can turn me, no mountain can stop me, 'cause you hold my hand. Lord, I'm walking in your victory, 'cause your power is within me. No giants can defeat me, 'cause you hold my hand. Oh, I'm walking in your victory. 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 No giant can defeat me. 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 Oh, no fire can burn me. No battle can turn me. No mountain can stop me. 'Cause you hold my hand. And I'm walking. 'Cause your power is within me. No giants can defeat me. 'Cause you hold my hand. You know my name. You know my name. You know my name.
Arguing a point, considering whether we will have the Salvation Army place a structure. But my grandfather was born this same year, 1859. The Salvation Army is a great work. I have worked with them with my drug intervention program for more than 20 years. We support this effort. We care about human beings. I personally am responsible for the care through my stewards of over 100 orphans in Liberia, even as we speak, orphans from Ebola. So we are a caring people. But you cannot tell me that there's nowhere else in the entire city of Savannah that you can put this except this particular spot. We have people who are more than likely the offspring of those very people who got sold, who are willing to tread upon the memory of their ancestors. This ground is sacred. This ground is holy. This on land that should be set aside. Said it rained so hard. It started raining as they started selling souls. It started raining. And somebody said it was as if God was crying. And that's why they called it the weeping time. Now, we've got squares dedicated downtown in Savannah. They're dedicated to Confederate soldiers who would have kept me in mind a slave. They would be selling my grandchild. They'd be selling my wife. They would be doing what they did to them in the weeping time. They were tailgating while they were selling us. It was a party. It was a festival. And some brothers looked over and saw their brother's family and realized that one would be sold and go to Louisiana, and another brother would be sold and go to North Carolina, and they would never see each other again as long as they live. And you're going to have to build something on this spot. You're going to have to allow it. What? Because of what happened there, it should be as important for us to set aside this thing. What's history going to say about you? What's history going to say about Savannah? How are we going to live with ourselves if we will not protect our heritage? Who will said by a Caucasian brother, what are we going to do this day? As any land has been set aside on earth. They said, we hold these truths to be self-evident. And they were lying. They said, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union. And they didn't mean it. And a little over a year or so ago, some of the people on council said, we're going to go up. Amen. And we're going to be fair. We're going to look out for everybody with equity. And for 15 months, the African American community don't have anything to show for the fact that we are city council at this stage. As a result of human suffering and man's inhumanity to man, no one would consider building anything on Auschwitz or Dachau. No one would consider building anything at Ground Zero. I am a lifelong citizen of the city of Savannah. We are here arguing a point, considering whether we will have the Salvation Army place a structure on land that should be set aside because of what happened there. It should be as important for us to set aside this land as any land has been set aside on earth as a result of human suffering and man's inhumanity to man. No one would consider building anything on Auschwitz or Dachau. No one would consider building anything at Ground Zero or at Gettysburg. No one. And now we, the citizens of the city of Savannah, having a place in our community which had the largest sale of human beings in the history of these United States. And someone would say, well, that was a long time ago. My cousin, Sister Latson, was the first black woman to work in this city hall that wasn't mopping or cleaning. I've got sweat and blood here. My friend Bobby Robinson was blown up by a bomb. I've got blood here. I'm appealing not only to city council, but to the Salvation Army. You're supposed to be a Christian organization. How can you do this? I'm appealing to the Savannah College of Art and Design. You're supposed to be trying to build America, not tear it down. People are arguing about removing Confederate memorials. And you're going to build over a memorial to the degradation of humankind. With all due respect, Mr. Mayor, on yesterday when you said the Salvation Army would be willing to make a space behind, wait a minute, are we still back at the buses? Are we still got to go around to the back door to get our food while everybody else goes in the front door and sits in comfort? There are people on council. The preachers say black, but everybody our color ain't our kind. And I want you to add this because I want to set the record straight at council. Somebody said I called someone names. I didn't. I said they were functioning as if they were Uncle Thomas. Now you read the record. The historian says that this very spot is a part of the Weeping Time property. Now you quoting the historian, but you're not going by what he said. And if there is a question, then you don't do it. 1 minute left. Thank you. Lastly, We've got 4 people on council who has never been able to put one item on the agenda. Those are facts. That's the record. So don't add this to that shame, because you came to a community, the black community in particular.
I'm deserved. Thank you very much.
And you said it would be fair?
Thank you very much.
I'm out of here.
Thank you.
I got this.
Major Egan, you're speaking for Salvation Army?
They just let me back in.
But I went from having confidence and arrogance to having faith. And faith is the opposite of fear. And that created this fearless approach that I have. I think very three-dimensionally. I don't think in the black and white lines that I've been programmed to think in. And I think in full color. So when I talk, I have to describe a thought in 5 ways. You know, we enjoy food that has multiple seasoning in it. We enjoy music that has multiple instruments. So when I talk, it's not a rant, it's a symphony of ideas. And when you collect them, you say, oh, these are all these things that connect. Yeah, you know, I just tell the truth. And telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. That's simply it. So now let's take like where there's, you know, people who have, issues with me as Kanye West. So they classify, you know, my motivational speeches as like rants and things like this. Like, why is he saying that? Why is he doing that? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I've reached a point in my life where my Truman Show boat has hit the painting. And I've got to a point that Michael Jackson did not break down. I have reached the glass ceiling as a creative person, as a celebrity. When I say that, it means I want to do product. I am a product person, not just clothing, but water bottle design, architecture, everything, you know, that you could, you know, think about. And I've been at it for 10 years. And I look around, I say, wait a second, there's no one around here in this space that looks like me. And if they are, they're quiet as So that means, wait a second, now we're seriously like in a civil rights movement. Like people used to joke about, do you remember our South Park photo?
Yeah, I do.
Remember how funny that was? Do you think there would be a Givenchy in the hood if it wasn't for that South Park photo?
Yeah.
So many people are just so obvious. They don't even realize that when they box me in or try to verbally put me in some type of box or put Donda in a box, that they're really showing their level of ignorance. They're putting themselves in a box. And, you know, people can write all they want, but what are people doing? And if there's anybody that's out there doing, they know how hard it is to actually do. And I'm like a motivation of the doers. If everything I did failed, which it doesn't, it actually succeeds, but if everything I did failed, just the fact that I'm willing to fail is an inspiration. People are so scared to lose that they don't even try. Like one thing that people can't say is they can't say, I'm not trying, and I'm not trying my hardest, and I'm not trying to do it the best way that I know how with what little information I get.
So when I compare myself to Steve Jobs or Walt Disney, Howard Hughes, David Stern, Michelangelo, Da Vinci, Jesus, or whatever it is, I'm saying these are my heroes. These are people that I look up to. This is the type of impact I want to make on the earth. If I can make this type of impact up to this point, what can I do if you call Bob Iger and say, yo, give him a shot? If you call Oprah and say, yo, back this kid. His parents were educators. He wants to educate. He wants to look at curriculums and say, how do we simplify that? Exactly what I did in music, I want to apply to product. I want to apply to education. This is what my company, Donda, is about. I can rap all I want, but without that Rockefeller chain and Damon giving me that Rockefeller chain and without getting a record deal, I don't care how many beats I sold to whoever, I couldn't have made it to the point to make Jesus Walks. And now, even as a celebrity, blah, 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 I've reached a ceiling. And the way paparazzi talk to me and my family is disrespectful also. You know what I'm saying? We bring something of joy to the world. When people hear my music, they have a good time. And I should be respected as such when I walk down the street. Don't ask me a question about something you saw in the tabloids. Don't try to antagonize me, because you know what? It's not safe for you in this zoo. You know, never think that I'm not from Chicago for 1 second. So as I go through these different levels, there's times where I would use confidence when I knew what I was doing, and I would use arrogance when I didn't know what I was doing. But I'd rather use arrogance than to let someone diminish my idea of myself, because that is what keeps us going. Hope actually keeps us alive. But I went from having confidence and arrogance to having faith. And faith is the opposite of fear. And that created this fearless approach that I have. And that's what now has made me the fearless leader that I am, that I've like crystallized into the leader that my mom always knew I would be when kids followed me in preschool, the leader that people saw when we changed the sound of music, the leader when we changed the sneaker industry, the leader in what we're doing with farming and with shelters. You have to move based on opportunity. If you have an opportunity to make a living at exactly what you dream about, you have to pursue that at that time when it's there. If the opportunity isn't there, just keep educating yourself as much as possible so that when the time comes, you'll be even better at that dream that you had. What I keep saying is I don't want to totally touch on this too long because I might like start, crying, but I would think that my mom would trade in every single Grammy, BET, every award for her son to have a doctorate, being that she was Dr. West.
Are you a workaholic? Are you always working?
No, I actually slept a lot during the project.
While they were recording?
Yeah, I have a team and we work together. I spent a year and a half after I got out the hospital, and I would go to Amoeba record store and I just start chopping up samples. And it's very therapeutic because I wasn't full yay. I don't know if I'm full yay now, or better or worse, whatever, but it was therapeutic just to listen to those songs and sample and go back to being 14 years old in my mom's house. And by the time it was time to do to put the albums out, we have a whole team at Yeezy Sound that will help come and do the drums, help with lyrics, help with choruses, and I'd give like 6, 7 people ideas that I want on the song, and I just go to sleep.
We want is a real shot. Not, okay, I'm a celebrity, so that means my line has to cost $10 a t-shirt. No, I understand about quality. I understand about fabrics. I spent 10,000 hours at this. I dedicated my life to this. Then a lot of people say, okay, well, you have to do music. I'm gonna keep doing music, but what if people told me I couldn't rap? What would have happened? What if people told me I couldn't perform? I'm only 36 years old. I have other goals and other things, and I'm gonna use my platform, every platform, to stand up and say, I wanna make something. I wanna make the next Ralph Lauren. They say people don't stand up and protect their dreams. People are too scared of getting, spoofed in a way. And the irony of it is so many people that are creatives. Think about a creative person in school. When you picture them, you probably picture them all the way in the back of your class, sketching or maybe getting beat up. And I'm the one creative. And this is the reason why I went on stage. This is the reason why I did this. Because creatives have got beat up my entire life. And there's moments where I stood up to drug dealers in Chicago and said, you can't have my publishing, come and kill me. Do whatever you're gonna do, but you're not going to bully me. You're not going to stop me, because my mother made me believe in myself. No matter how many people tell me, stop believing in yourself. Stop saying what you can do. Stop affirming what you're gonna do and then completing that in real life. That's the improper way to do it. I refuse to follow those rules that society has set up in the way that they control people with low self-esteem, with improper information, with branding, with marketing. I refuse to follow those rules. It's about truth. It's about information. It's about awesomeness. And the only luxury is time, the time you spend with your family. That's the only luxury. So this concept of luxury.
And I remember the last thing she said. She said, you know what the problem is with all these students? As soon as they did anything, from when they were really little, their parents clapped. And the point she wanted to make to me, that she said to me as we were leaving out the hallway of the restaurant the last time I saw her, was, don't clap. You have to push them. You have to drive them. I remember the first time when North climbed all the way to the top of the stairs. And I'm trying to say that Kim would have grabbed her by third stair. But she felt like she had to impress me and be more dynamic, or hit the highest point that she had ever, had ever hit in her life. And Louise was really hard and, difficult with the students, but I felt like when you like Celine, when you like McQueen, all these things that have inspired us, I'm just talking directly about fashion, it's because there were people that pushed that hard. And, not to defend myself, but just to take this opportunity, because I have the mic. It's not someone else's mic. It's my mic. I can talk right now. I feel a responsibility to push in the world. I feel a responsibility in my position to be like, this is some bullshit. Am I the only one here that's not crazy? Am I the only one here that's not afraid of losing their Samsung deal right now?
An elephant and a dog became pregnant at the same time. 3 months down the line, the dog gave birth to 6 puppies. 6 months later, the dog was pregnant again, and 9 months on it gave birth to another dozen puppies. The pattern continued. On the 18th month, the dog approached the elephant, questioning, "Are you sure that you are pregnant?" "We became pregnant on the same date. I have given birth 3 times to a dozen puppies, and they are now grown to become big dogs, yet you are still pregnant. What's going on?" The elephant replied, "There is something I want you to understand. What I am carrying is not a puppy but an elephant. I only give birth to one in 2 years. When my baby hits the ground, the earth feels it. When my baby crosses the road, human beings stop and watch in admiration. What I carry draws attention. So what I'm carrying is mighty and great. Don't lose faith when you see others receive answers to their prayers in what seems like record time. Don't be envious of others' testimony. If you haven't received your own blessings, don't despair. Say to yourself, my time is coming, and when it hits the surface of the earth, people shall yield in admiration. Do not compare your journey to anyone else's.
Listen, here's a little something you can ponder in your mind. Something that has never been explored along these lines. Paint a mental picture of the guns you can find, and I'll show you why we're so fascinated with the 9. The reason that we like it doesn't lie in the design. The secret of our adoration lies behind the 9, the number. It has a special meaning that's divine, a spiritual significance that needs to be defined. Man's relationship with the number 9 is odd. It has its beginnings and its origins in God. Here is an example that I'm giving to you first. Consider there are 9 planets in the universe. Mercury, Venus, Earth, then the Mars. Plus the other 5 planets rest among the stars. They're all heavenly bodies, but herein lies the wisdom. Consider that your heavenly body has 9 systems. A planet for each system. A system for each planet. This seems to be a symbolism that we take for granted. Circulatory, reproductive, skeletal, and nervous. Muscular and endocrine to others. Go research it. And then just prepare. The universe is 999 times 999 times squared. There's a little science from the time dropped right from the mind of the sign. Number 9. 9 represents birth, completion. That's all. Take notice how the 9th month is the start of fall. It's the 3rd out of 4 seasons, so peep what you find, that the 3 for the season is the square root of 9. Bullets from the 9mm keep on gunning. My mother Ty said that 9 is the number of the woman. So look closely at the word feminine, and you will find, if you break it down right, that it's really feminine, the woman in 9. And that's just a segment. Because a 9 looks like the bottom half of a woman when she's pregnant. So peep how it takes a 9 months to have a baby. Approximately 270 days she carries her seed. And that math is divine. Because the 2 plus the 7 plus the 0 equals 9. A man, when he marries a woman, the band is placed on a woman's 9th finger on her hand. Surprising? Here is something a little more enticing. Retailers use a 9 in marketing and advertising. Pricing: a car is $20,099. Gum is $79. Candy is 99 cents. A gallon of gas, $3.99. They do this because they know the attractiveness behind 9. It always multiplies back to 9. Use any number with a 9, you can find this is true. 9 times 2 is 18. And 1 plus the 8 equals 9. You know what I mean? 9 times 8. See, that's 72. The 7 plus the 2 is 9. This you can do. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, even 9 times 9, 10, or 11, 360 degrees, you will find that the 3 plus the 6 plus the 0 equals 9. Got myself
Mr. Muhammad.
I You won't even start.
Your information. What's your number? What's your number? 252
Rap is 9516. I am rap, and this rap is I jam.
My name is
I slam.
you know.
Rap is the earth to me equation. Come near me, I bake you, kid. I'm hot, I am Alpha and Omega. God. Rap is the ultimate expression of the soul and mind with knowledge of self. I am that and nothing else. I am that I am me. I'm R-A-P-G-O-D, reality. I am MC. Rap is real, I am a realist. Rap is something that dies hard. I am Bruce Willis.
Let's go.
Force to be reckoned with. Therefore, I am a force to be reckoned with. A rapper who be reckoning.
Let's go,
Rap
Muhammad.
is beyond your comprehension. I am difficult to understand, a man from another dimension. Not to mention rap's a teacher, and I'm a student. I'm a student teacher of rap when I was prudent. Put that man in the car.
Put that man in the car.
I had to give him.
Well, I'm en route.
That's true.
And how would you answer that now?
I'm
Amy?
en route.
You're still
I'm
en
further
route.
along than I was. But I'm still en route. I don't know when I know enough. I know a lot, and I'm grateful for that. I know enough to try to live what I know. Now that's a lot.
Well, that's a lot.
But I still don't have it all.
What do you think that you, Maya Angelou, everybody who quotes you, and I quote you, and then they quote me to you and all, what do you think is the best piece of advice you've given?
Well, Well, I'm thinking that the best advice I've ever given, I hope, was that which I gave to my son when he was growing up. He said, I don't have any friends. How can I get some friends? And although I was very young, I told him two things. I told him, in order to get a friend, you have to be a friend. Be ready to be a friend. And also, I told him, there's a place in you that you must keep inviolate. You must keep it pristine, clean, so that nobody has the right to curse you or treat you badly. Nobody, no mother, father, no wife, no husband, nobody. Because that may be the place you go to when you meet God. You have to have a place that you say, stop it, back up.
Not
you
here
must
you want.
not, no.
No.
Absolutely. And that's one I told you 25 years ago.
Yes.
Say no when it's no.
Yeah.
Say so. Back it up. Because that place has to remain clean and clear.
And that has to be a place within yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. That is the best advice. I know everybody who's watching is going to say, when people show you who they are, believe them. That's also very good.
It is good now.
Yeah. But nothing tops having the place inside
That's
yourself
right.
that nobody else
Nobody
has
has
a
the
right to invade.
No.
Yes.
And when the person comes with rude language to you or invasive language to you, you have to be able to say, back up. Not me, you don't. Don't you know I'm a child of God?
What is the best piece of advice you've ever gotten?
So many good things.
I know.
Yeah. I guess the greatest advice is to forgive. I don't anoint it with anything. I just forgive it.
But don't we forgive? I've tried to let people know on the show, as you have taught me over the years, that when you forgive somebody, doesn't mean you want to sit down and invite them to your table. No.
Indeed not. I just mean I'm finished with you. You
done.
Go away.
Yes.
Yes, you go away. Now I don't say go away and harm somebody else, but I do have to protect myself. I look like a ninny if I ask somebody else to protect me, and I'm not willing to protect myself.
Yeah, that's one of the great lessons that you've taught me too. You got to be willing to take care of this first.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you have enough